Yo, this is Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5. Hey, check this out, man. In a little while, man, we're going to be performing in Urban Nation. So y'all should come on in, man, and check this out, man. For real, man. The rest of the fellas are back there.
Charlie was like, beep, beep. Started calling people, and I was like, oh, that's hot, that's hot. And it just stuck. Even though the numbers weren't right, you know what I mean, within the group, the name was just, it just fit. You know how when you know, and that name, I was like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, we have two DJs. I feel for J5 is important because of the stuff we do on stage. It's so much, it's really intricate, you know what I mean? You might have Newmark on the drums and Cut queuing up the record, you know what I mean? We can work faster with two DJs, plus more beats, you know what I mean? 6 heads, you know what I mean? More thought. It's just right, you know what I mean? And it's just once again that vibe that we had. I think the whole Europe experience was good for us as far as humbling us and calming us, because for one, you know, we did things in Europe before the States. Like, I mean, we've won awards out there. Our record has gone like gold in the European standard. We've hit the top 40 out there. We've done all the interviews. We've been to the award shows, blah, 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 the big festivals. And what that did was, in turn, when we got to the States, it's like, what? We've done it already, you know what I mean? So we're not going to catch that big head or really trip off or get caught up in that, because we've run the whole gamut of that before, and we've done all that, so it's not a surprise to us. So it's actually a blessing in disguise to blow up overseas first. So that's how I look at it. Probably Fiona Apple for me also is another one. You know, touring with her, she taught me a lot as far as just being an artist and just watching how she just commands attention. You know what I'm saying? Her, and also Patti LaBelle, is just, she really taught me also the importance of appreciation of your fans, because if you've ever been to one of her shows, she'd do stuff like take off her mink and tell the lady in the front row to hold it for her. Lady would wear it the whole show. You know what I mean? Just those little things. And you know, different artists, you pick up on different things they do and you take it with you and you move on. You know what I mean? Those are just a couple. Woe Is Me to me is like a blueprint for MCs that's trying to come up. You know what I mean? It's like, take heed to this. You have an idea of what you think the industry is, or what you see on TV, or what these people may make you think it is, but understand that there's a flip side to this, and it's not all gravy all the time. You know what I mean? You're going to be gone for a while. You're going to miss family. There's those elements that people don't talk about, and that's what Woe Is Me is about. It's about, like, look, it's not always fun. It's not, you're only looking at one side of this, but there's two sides of this coin. And it's just, you know, it's just taking heed to young MCs to just do your thing and be careful. What's the saying? Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
Just kind of clicked. He came back to the guys, and we were all like, yep, it's a winner. 2 thumbs up, Chuck. So that was that. Cut's like, you know, my other 2 hands, really, you know. He's like good, healthy competition for me, you know, not just on stage, but outside of it as well. But on stage, you know, working with Cut, you know, really helps the performance out a lot. It's like, you know, 2 minds are better than one. We can get to records quicker because there's 4 turntables, you know, on site at all times. So it's really cool. We can do little sound effects, you know, in verses, and do bridges and stuff that you couldn't really do. You could do it with one person, but it'd be really, really hard, and you'd be queuing up things really fast. And some things we do you can't do with 2 turntables, put it that way. Yeah, Europe adapted to us pretty quickly. I think in general, the Europeans really study American music because, I don't know, I kind of compare it to how like the LA hip-hop kids really looked up to New York hip-hop when it was first being born out there. When you're not around it and you're not seeing it, when you're seeing it from a distance, you're like, oh, I want to study that. I want to know more about it. You know, you don't know what the Bronx looks like. You don't know what, you know, the kids really dress like unless you saw like a, you know, Buffalo Gals video, for instance, or whatever. So I think that applies to the Europeans because they were like, wow, we're really just studying all the U.S. Like, they buy every magazine, they buy every record, they study it, they know every lyrics. When you go out there, like the average person, like knew just as much about music as I did out there, you know. And I've been a DJ for 17 years. the swing set song on our album was inspired actually from me going to Cut's house and walking in his living room, and I'm hearing him play this swing loop over and over, and I was so mad at him. I was like, man, that sucks, man, because I wanted to play a swing set at a club. I had like 6 records picked out that I wanted to play at this club that matched the tempo of some hip-hop stuff and some soul stuff I was playing that earlier in my set. And I was like, wait, man, keep that. I'm going to come by tomorrow and bring those records I wanted to play at the club and see if they're in the same tone or if they're melodically in the same tone, you know. So I brought them over. Some worked, some didn't, and that's how Swing Set was born pretty much. And then we just kept building for like 3 months on his 8-track. I'd come with a record, he'd come with a record. And then halfway through it, we're like, man, let's just make this a DJ song on the album. We did Woe Is Me, I think, out of the good and bad of the entertainment industry. Yeah, it's pretty much that simple. It's just like you know, I think a lot of people go for glamour and glitz sometimes, or they think LA's comprised of a lot of Hollywood stuff, but they don't see the other side of it. But yeah, that's the world of entertainment, really. I mean, you get both sides, 2 sides of the coin.
What made us come up with Jurassic 5 was we were 2 groups called the Unity Committee, which was myself, Cut Chemist, and Mark 7, and another group called the Rebels of Rhythm, which was Akil, Dhakir, and a brother who passed away named Sean, Africa. And we met at the Good Life. We liked each other's style. We did a song, you know, some years later that we really loved, man. That just was like, man. And it really, for me, it was like just a rejuvenator, kind of, right? So I liked the song so tough, I brought it back to my girlfriend at the time. And I was like, yo, check this out, you know. She was like, yeah, this is dope, you know. Y'all think y'all sound like the Fantastic Five, you know. That sound like more like the Jurassic 5. And I was like, oh my God, that's it. It's a beautiful thing because there's only a few groups in the history of hip-hop that have had 2 DJs, man. It's just good to be amongst those guys, like the Get Fresh crew, you know, Master Don Committee, and different people like that, you know what I'm saying? Really, it's cool to be amongst that ranks, man, to me, you know what I'm saying? So. Overseas is a whole nother monster, man. These people enjoy hip-hop and any other music that started in America a lot more than Americans enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? And it's amazing to see how people take a culture and learn it, you know what I'm saying? While we live it and we take advantage of it, you know, we just like, yeah, hip-hop's around the corner, man. That dude can rap. I know he can rap, blah, he do beats. We see that every day. But in Europe, it's like the ones who are doing it are trying to live it to the fullest. Some of my musical influences led me to be also a part of Ozo Motley, which is a 12-piece, just eclectic mesh of just sound. You know, they try everything and they try to accomplish everything. They try to mix everything. It's Latin-based, but, you know, if you really dig deep enough, all of the rhythms are, all of the drum patterns and rhythms of today, man, have been, you know, passed down from like the Afro-Cuban rhythms and the African rhythms that have been, you know what I'm saying, were played by slaves and by, you know, different African tribes and things like that. Well, basically, the new single is World of Entertainment, Woe Is Me. We shortened it down, the acronym, simply because in certain instances, that's how we feel being inside this industry. It's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Just looking around, like, seeing how this monster works, man. My grandmother used to always say, if you know the nature of a thing, then you can deal with it as such. And I guess that's the approach that we took. The song is basically about how art imitates life in this industry. You know what I'm saying? How nowadays people are trying to, and vice versa. I mean, you know, art imitating life and life imitating art. People are trying to be so real at a certain thing and try to portray this realness in a setting, you know, basically. And that's basically not what we're about, man. We just wanted to show people that, you know, one, we are a group that just tries to make good music, and We're not trying to succumb to all of the evils that are around us, man. It's a hard fight, but so far so good.